It's been a while since I've done a video in this format and I've missed it so much, but I really don't have as much time as I used to. But I made time today, okay? I hope you all had a great week and are having an even better weekend. And happy Thanksgiving! I wish you all the best holiday and I hope you enjoy your family. Please be safe out there. It is starting to snow. We just got our first snowfall here in Ohio, so please just be extra careful when you're out there. 2 weeks ago, Layla and I went to Florida to have an early Thanksgiving dinner with our family. It was her first time meeting my side of things, so I was really excited. She bonded quickly with my sister. And I loved getting to see her play around with her cousins who are around the same age as her. We had such a very nice time. With that being said, let's talk about this week's General Hospital. My first question is, was Nina out of line for how she went off on Willow? Nina did not like that Miss Tate was telling them Charlotte is a bully. And in her defense of Charlotte, she just she went too far, honey. It got so bad that they had to dismiss her ass from the meeting. Miss Tate handled the situation with class, okay?
I appreciate your faith in Charlotte. That said, I'd like to have a more productive talk with her parents.
What did disappoint me about the whole entire situation was Lulu's response. I mean, first of all, did y'all see, like, she only kind of looked back and gave Nina a glance when Nina said, "my daughter." And if that wasn't enough, Lulu about tripped and fell trying to get around to confront Nina. And she was just like, "Oh, you're just a bit upset." I'm like, who is this Lulu? Who are we watching now? I truly miss how Lulu used to be portrayed by Julie Marie Berman. I know that recasts are not perfect, but they didn't even try to get somebody who was that strong, feisty Spencer. I miss the Lulu that would come for your neck over somebody she loved.
He actually felt sorry for you. I told him that you were good for him. Let go of me. No, you shot him. You're a murderer. No, screw your sorry.
I swear to you, I didn't know.
You didn't know what? You didn't know he was there. You didn't see him when you were pointing the gun at him.
I didn't know he was my son.
Till this day, fans still talk about how Lulu came for Liz after finding out about the affair she was having with Nicholas.
Faithless, lying, sleeping with both of my brothers, slut. I hope you burn in hell.
This is not a personal dig against the actress who currently plays the character, but Lulu as she's played now, I don't recognize her. I mean, who is she? I don't know her. Valentine went to Nina after the parent-teacher conference and told her that he wants her to be present when they do sit down and talk to Charlotte. I know that Valentine truly loves his daughter, but I still feel like he was using this situation to further try to reel Nina in. I don't know what he sees in Nina that's to the point that he can't live without her, so much so that he's going to lie about finding her daughter. He did lie about finding her daughter. Sasha was revealed to be a fake, which we all knew from day one. We were like, wait a minute, this is way too easy, way too simple. And where's that necklace she's been going on about for weeks? After the war of words between Nina and Willow, I am so convinced that she is Nina's biological daughter. I'm not the only one, as fans have expressed this on social media. I'm just waiting for Willow to pull out the other half of that cheap ass necklace, because I know she has it. I also believe that Willow will be revealed to be the birth mother of that baby that Brad and Lucas had before it died. This story has great potential and the acting is there, yet the GH writers that we currently have a special talent of turning gold into crap. Fans have told me on Twitter that they are not getting their hopes up, and I absolutely agree with that. Liz and Franco now know what's going on with Aiden. The poor child is being bullied. At the start of this story, I thought that Aiden was struggling with his sexuality possibly, but it wasn't until Lulu and Nina were discussing how assertive Charlotte was, and then they mentioned that Charlotte and Aiden are in the same class, that some fans pointed out like, hey, maybe Charlotte is bullying him. And I was like, that could be what's going on. And lo and and behold, it's true. The young girl is bullying her own cousin. We saw Charlotte's behavior starting to unravel when Finn took his turn at career day. The teacher even tried to bring Aiden into the conversation by asking if he had a question, and Charlotte cut him off before he could even speak. Later on in art therapy with Franco, he was drawing a picture and he showed himself next to his brothers looking very small, and he admitted that he feels tiny. I thought those were great scenes. I enjoyed that, especially how Franco was able to kind of see and reach the child in that manner. Elizabeth, why in the world would you ask this young boy who is going through a troubling time, who may be confused, why would you ask him if he wants his father there? If Lucky is calling you, if he's communicating with you all on a regular basis, you should be telling him what's going on with your son, and then it should be up to him whether or not he comes. You should even say, hey, I think maybe you should come and be here for your son, and if at that point he wants to continue to be a deadbeat, distant dad, then that's on him. But you don't ask this young boy, do you want your father to come? What is he supposed to say? He's not even talking to you and you're there. I was just kind of giving her the side eye on that. And then I'm sitting there like, okay, are you guys going to bring Lucky, or are you just name dropping him like y'all did Jeff Weber months ago and nothing ever came of it? Instead, we got your friend Terry, who we don't see enough of. I'm not surprised because, like I said, with the LGBT characters, they don't do them right. And then we also got a name drop of Hayden this week. Is Hayden coming back? Many fans want to see Hayden back. Many fans prefer Hayden and Finn together. Though I will say I did like the exchange between but Anna and Finn this week when he got the letter. And I said this in my live, he did not want to share the rest of the letter with Anna, and Anna knew it. She was like, I could read you. I know there's more that you're not sharing with me, and I want you to tell me about it. And it was a very emotional exchange, and you could still see how much he feels towards Hayden still, and that it's not fully closed. That door isn't fully closed. I guess because of how she left and how things between them were still just not, over. I want to see Hayden come back and cause, some friction between them. Is the baby, I still believe that the baby is alive, okay? But the actress who played Hayden, Rebecca, has a primetime gig, it was reported. So would we all be okay with the recast? I think the character of Hayden would be great, not just for Finn, but Elizabeth needs more family. I liked that she had a sister. For the life of me, I don't understand why they haven't brought back Sarah Weber. But Finn did not tell Anna about the part of the letter how Hayden wanted to meet him and that she would send him the time and dates. She's already given him her location. Why wouldn't you want your current girlfriend to know? Were you gonna sneak off and go see her anyway? Just why didn't you want to tell her? Anyway, this has the potential to get messy and they need this. I want to see it. Bring her back. Going back to the conversation about Career Day, what did you all think of that? There was a lot of mixed reactions on social media. There are some fans that really enjoyed the Career Day. Some said that they didn't know what ELQ did until Michael fully explained it. But there were others that were saying, look, this is November sweeps. This is not what I want to be seeing in the midst of sweeps about a story involving children in a classroom. Some folks said that it turned into Sesame Street. This isn't Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Folks were just like, no. I want to see the adults. I want to see them be messy. And I think Soap Jen said it best. GH has a bad pacing issue. For example, they should have played the Aiden stuff September, October. It's cute, but not a sweep story, with steady story movement, and then had the payoff from working through it together be the family uniting with the wedding in November. I told her, hey, I absolutely agree, and many others did. And she also, under my retweet, said, so many stories have just been treading water with no real payoff for the audience. It's too bad because some of the stories would actually be good if they just, move. And I have to give you a round of applause in the form of a GIF, honey, because I think that's really where the frustration lies. In a live stream that I did last Sunday, it was titled that, the show has lost more than 500,000 viewers since last year. Damn! And what was going on? Everyone was pretty much excited on the edge of their seats over this Tale of Two Jasons storyline. And now this year, and it's just like, the only thing that's really happened was Ryan killing Mary Pat. And the shock value from that didn't last at all. I think most people were just shocked about how her body was discovered and that the rest of her was in Ava's gallery. But other than that, I mean, we all knew she was probably going to be the one to die. And Mary Pat isn't one of the major players on this show. So it's kind of wound down since then. Maybe it'll pick up towards the end, but I remember sweeps used to hit you in the gut out the gate, and you would just come and you would watch and you'd be like, okay, what's gonna happen? Somebody would get dragged publicly, or some scandal or truth would be revealed, and there's not much going on with all of the characters right now. I mean, it just isn't, and I think people like, look, this kid storyline, it's not that we don't like it, but it going on right now when this used to be November sweep, stuff would be moving quickly, and you know, I would kind of be tuning in every day just to see how things would play out, and a lot of people are just like, nope, this is a skip day, especially for JSAM fans this week. We didn't get Jason and Sam until Friday, and then some people were like, why are their scenes like only about 5 seconds long? They didn't really get to talk until towards the end of the very, very end of Friday's episode where they made plans for Thanksgiving. A lot of us are excited, but some folks are like, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I would be surprised if they even had sex or something like that. So, I mean, it's just, you guys need to really bring your A game. I mean, I look forward to sweeps because during most parts of the year, these stories are really, really slow. So when sweeps comes into play, I'm expecting things to be accelerated a bit, but we're not even getting that. Other than having scenes with Finn this week, Anna did run into Peter and she is still being iced by him, which is kind of ironic because as someone pointed out, he's going around town, or was, seeking forgiveness from everyone, and everyone is just let bygones be bygones when it comes to Peter. Maxie is even to the point where she's ready to date this man. I just feel like he did not earn what he's getting. Regardless of who raised him, he is responsible for his actions. I mean, Nina is even asking him to attend a wedding with her. And I'm just like, what? This man hasn't even earned this love that you all are giving him. But whatever, because there are a lot of fans who like Peter. They like Peter and Maxie and they want to see them together as a couple. I like them as friends, but I still am on the fence about them having a relationship. I'm just not here for it. And then he's sitting there still being mean to Anna. And my thing is, what did Anna do to you really other than put you up for adoption? You're gonna hold that against her? At least she tried to do the right thing by you. She put you in a loving home. The only one you should stay having an attitude for the rest of your life with is Valentine. But I have a feeling he's gonna forgive Valentine before he forgives Anna. And Anna, thankfully this woman is sharp as a tack, honey, because she was like, oh, so you conjured up a daughter for Nina that she didn't even know existed? Thank you, Anna, because you're the only one who sees this fool for what he is, a fool. And Kiki, bravo, honey, bravo. She put that girl out of her house, and that's exactly what should have happened. You never should have let her in there. And she was like, look, I jumped the gun and, my sister and everything, but you need to get out. And Sasha was like, wait, what? Yes. And Nina should have done a background check on her too before just letting her inside of her home, inside of her life. You know what I mean? Right, Layla? Isn't that what she should have done? Right? Yeah, Layla agrees with me. Cause mommy's right. Mommy's right? I'm right. Was that no? Anyway, I'm proud of Kiki for putting her out, and even though Sasha was like, oh, you're just, paranoid because he used to date your mother, all I'm saying is that Kiki is right, regardless of, her being like Ava and being paranoid. There was something going on Sasha was sitting there trying to make a move on her man. And I said this before and I'll say it again. Regardless of whether or not Kiki was really friends with benefits with Griffin, you're a stranger moving in on her territory and you didn't even ask your sister or your non-sister if it was okay for you to make a move at this guy. You are disrespectful as hell, and she was right for putting you out. So Kiki, don't feel bad about your decision. Don't let her words about you being like or feeling this way because of what happened with Ava. No, you were right, girl. You did it right. And Ava, Sasha, you made a mistake by getting in Ava's face, okay? Because this woman done put some sleeping powder all up in your soup. And I read spoilers indicating that Griffin and Sasha are going to end up in a compromising position. Of course they are. And it's going to lead to something tragic. If Kiki dies because of this woman's foolishness, I am not going to feel bad for her at all. I've already expressed that I am a fan of Ava. I do love Ava. But I'm not going to sit here and love her to the point that I don't see her shortcomings, or that this woman just... Yeah, she don't learn. She doesn't learn. This is the second time that this woman has wreaked havoc using medication. She switched and took Morgan's pills, and now she's using some Ryan, you are trash. I'm like, how did you just randomly have those pills from some kind of convention? I see you, Ryan. You ain't... I love how he be trying to act like he's innocent, and he be looking guilty as hell, but don't nobody else see it. Like when he was confronted by Carly at the PCPD, and she was like, how did Nell get into the room next to the neighbor that I had? And he's just sitting there like, you know? And Jordan bringing him in on this investigation, people are already asking for him to kill Jordan. I'm like, well, that would make some good use of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we do something with Jordan? Because this wedding isn't enough isn't enough to make her appealing. Like I said, there is nothing satisfying about Jordan and Curtis getting married. Like, I don't feel like these two got the chemistry that's just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't wait to see their scenes again. Like I said, it's more like they put these two together because they were the only black folks in the room. And I'm not trying to, you know, play the race card or anything like that, but it just legit, there's nothing that really kind of felt like these two were drawn together or destined to be together. It's one of those relationships like blink and it's over. You know, honey? No. Do you agree with me? Huh? You put your dukes up. Put the dukes up. What is this in your hair? What is this? The best moment for me this week was between Margot and Drew. Margot ran into him and told him how she found out about what her mother did to her father. Of course, she's still not letting go of her grudge against Sonny. And at this point, I'm like, woman, would you just give him the flash drive? On one hand, it's like, does it matter? And then on the other, it's like, just give it to him already. God damn, it's been more than a year. Gosh. Anyway, she was I like how she took a shot at him when she was like, oh, of course you would understand. I mean, you're a Navy SEAL. Basically, she threw it in his face that he doesn't have his memories while she got it in her room somewhere locked up in a safe. And this man looks salty as hell. But Drew, this is your fault. You the one who want to sit back acting like, you know, I don't care. I don't have to have my memories. It's not worth the risk. You are so boring that way. Like, you don't think that knowing who you are and having your own identity isn't worth the risk? Are you serious? I know you got kids and some people like, well, Drew is better as he is. No, he's not. I'm sorry, I just don't find anything appealing about the character. I really don't. And it's so disappointing. Someone made a post over the weekend showing scenes of Billy Miller playing, I think, Richie Novak or some character in All My Children. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can see why he went on to win about 3 Emmys. This man has some chops on him, but if you watch who he is now on General Hospital, am I being too loud? Well, you're the one who wanted to come over here and sit. You could go play. Should I turn back on your TV show? Here, I'm gonna turn it back on. But I was watching those clips from when he was on All My Children, and I was just like, this man really does have acting abilities, because it's not so much that I don't think he can act, but I've just always was looking at him in the role of playing Jason, and I wanted to see him play it the way that Steve Burton had executed the role for more than 21 years, okay? And I didn't know until years later, after the fact, that he was instructed to play the character in a different way. I didn't know that. So I'm going in, and granted, no recast is perfect. It just doesn't work that way unless the recast outdoes the predecessor. And by some accounts, this is, they believe that Billy did better by Jason than Steve ever did. I don't share that opinion, obviously, but I thought that him getting the role of Drew, I would really be able to see him shine. And I don't know, I think it's the writing as well as just the actor's energy just isn't there. Some people be like, oh, he's getting great material with this story with Oscar being, ill. And I'm just like, it's not shining through. It just is not. Tamara Braun is carrying all of them, in my opinion. I mean, she's outshining Billy and the young man who plays Oscar. I'm just ready for him to drop dead already. Please, just kill him. I'm sick of this character. I don't like Oscar. I really don't. And he does not have the acting ability to carry this story. I mean, the man isn't showing any symptoms for real besides a seizure and a headache. And why can't Drew go to Curtis's wedding? If he's not on that episode where their wedding is taking place and they're not showing what he's doing, I'm gonna be like, why couldn't you take an hour out your life to come to this man's wedding? And folks was clowning him on social media talking about, oh, you can, how come you can sit here and buy a vacation for these two to go on a honeymoon with Jason's money? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's not Jason's money at this point. It's been a year, and I'm sure Aurora is starting to make profits, even though we don't get scenes of him at Aurora that much anymore. But I'm pretty sure after a year, it's his money, not Jason's, even though he's paying Jason back. I'm glad that Carly is free of the charges. I mean, I thought it was going to be a long, dragged out process. I was like, no, they're not about to take this woman to trial again for something she did not do. But she did make a comment sitting there talking about, I feel like, I live here at the PCPD or something. And I'm like, hold up, honey. You're just starting to feel this way? How many times have you been up at the PCPD over the years yelling at whoever was arresting Jason and Sonny, talking about, release them, you better let them go, drop the charges, honey? You've been living at the PCPD. I'm also glad that she got in Margot's face, honey. I was here for it. Drag her. Carly let her know, I don't care if you are the DA. I will defend and protect those that I love. And Sonny, you are being a bit soft, and I think it's because of the remorse you feel for your actions that you've had. But remember what Carly said. This woman came after her, put her away in Ferncliff for something she didn't do. She came for Mike, came to Christina, and she came after you for this murder. And plus, Margot has been after you prior to those bones being found in Charlie's. And she buried the bones next to your son. Man, get your head out your ass. I was praying the whole time that he was not gonna sleep with Margot. I was like, please don't sleep with this bitch. Please don't sleep with her. Because somebody said when Sonny is alone in a room with a woman in a bed, it's about to go down. And I was like, I'm past the point of seeing Sonny be a womanizer. I mean, some stuff get old, and it is dead for me, honey. He told her to let it go, but will she let it go? I highly doubt it. But just give Drew back the flash drive. And if she gives it back to him, there's no excuse why you can't go through with it. And if you don't, you will continue to be trash to me. Just bye. I did do a live stream talking about this week's What If episode. And I mean, of course, I was shocked when Ava kissed Jason. I think Dominic Zampronha's performance was incredible. Many people were saying GH just wasted the actor's talent, and I couldn't agree more. Those are just a few of my thoughts on this week's moments. Please, in the comments, sound off. Let me know what you thought about this week's episodes. Do you agree with my assessment when it comes to Lulu, or do you just like this downplayed, watered down version of her? Was Nina out of pocket for how she came in and went off on the teacher? I mean, it's not her child, but she does love Charlotte as though she were her own. Will Willow, Miss Tate, be revealed to be Nina's daughter? And are you enjoying GH right now, or do you feel like this is sweeps and they should be bringing more to the table than what they're currently providing us? As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, GHers, take care.